Hi everyone, it's Saya from HustleSZN and this is Shniha, and today we're talking about The Darkest Minds book versus the movie adaptation. Shniha hasn't read the book, I have, so I guess you'll get like a non-bookish point of view and then how I thought the book and the movie differed, or if the movie like captured it well, etc, etc. So I'll just start by saying I actually really liked the movie adaptation. My only issue with it was that I felt like sometimes it didn't give you the full emotional punch that it should have been giving you. It was like I enjoyed the scenes, I liked the way they interpreted the source material, and I liked even like the sequence of events and things like that, but just every once in a while I was like, I should feel more right now, and I don't feel all of it. So sometimes it just felt like it was giving me 90% instead of 100, but that was like a minor issue. Overall, I thought it was pretty good adaptation based off of what we've seen in the past for YA, and I think part of it's also just like me personally, I'm not into dystopians, so the aesthetic of that movie and the whole like life sucks and everything is bleak, that's not really what I go for to begin with, so I think part of it's just subjective as well, but I do think the movie was really well done. You?
So I had really low expectations for this film, but
so much.
Mostly because dystopian anything is not my thing. The only reason I went to see this movie is because Sally asked me to watch it, and I was very pleasantly surprised. I actually had a good time watching it. I don't have any background because I haven't read the book, so that being said, like I didn't get that whole difference in punchline or whatever. I can say that I didn't always feel like it's a sad scene, but I wasn't like, oh, near tears. But even then, like I still had a good time watching it. I know it's a weird thing to say about a dystopian movie, but it was really cute.
Have you seen Maze Runner and Hunger Games? Like, can you compare it to them?
I've seen the first Hunger Games. The first Hunger Games was super intense, which is why I never decided to watch the rest of the films. I just felt like I got way too worked up and way too invested, and also super stressed watching the movies, so I was like, I'm not putting myself through this. This one, even though it's still dystopian, I wasn't stressed about it. I was like, I'm sure it'll end up fine. And like, I don't know why I got that vibe throughout the movie, but that's what I got. So I would definitely watch the sequel.
I think it falls in the middle. I think Hunger Games is still #1, and then this was definitely better than Maze Runner for me.
Oh really? Maze Runner you didn't like as much?
Maze Runner, the first one's okay, but you start watching the second one, it wasn't relatable. Like, maybe I'm just too old, but it wasn't relatable anymore.
You are.
Whereas like the Hunger Games was just like amazingness from beginning to end.
Okay,
in my opinion.
cool.
So in terms of whether or not I thought it did justice to the book, I think it actually did a really good job. The beginning especially, so when you start the book, there's like 100 pages of kind of slow world building and things like that, that the movie actually gets done within like the first 5 minutes. I actually really liked the way there's just kind of a couple quick shots that show you like how Grace dies and what IAAN is, and just really quick things, and then how she messes up her mom and then goes to jail. And so that was great. I still thought like they were doing all the scenes they were supposed to be doing and like in order, and everything was pretty like good. It was just sort of boring. Even when I was reading the book, I didn't really love it until she gets to where she meets the whole van of people. So I kind of expected that, but I still felt like it was just kind of going by slowly. I don't know how you felt. Like, did you feel like it was slow, or did you need those explanations?
No, actually I didn't think it was slow at all. I thought,
okay.
So, like, I guess it's a very contrary opinion, but I thought that the pacing was really good considering. I find depending on the type of film or like the genre, sometimes they take a while to set up, and then the conflict and then the resolution are really rushed, so you kind of feel like, well, they didn't do a good job pacing. But I found like the backstory, they did it, like they didn't take too long, but like they give you enough information, and then it kind of, it just like,
Maybe it's just because I knew what was happening. I don't know. I just like wanted them to hurry up and get to the actual
that I could tell, because I feel like anytime the couple was on the screen, like I would look at you and I could swear that you were yawning.
I thought like the romance was really overdone in the movie. Like they're really cute together, and I think they have good chemistry, and if all of their scenes were just half the amount of time, it would have been perfection. Like I really liked them. I just felt like there was so much of it, and it became cringeworthy. Even though the actor and actress were doing an okay job, it was just like they'd focus on them, and then that's what we saw for 20 minutes, and then somebody goes and then the other one goes and then they like look at each other, and then the other one, like, you know what I mean, like it was drawn out.
True, because like I mean I thought the couple was really cute, and
like the sock scene, like in the book there's more of a, like, he doesn't seem like such a Dumbo about it.
But I thought it was cute that he was an idiot.
Yeah,
like,
no, in the
like,
movie it was just like so clearly he just wants to look at her naked. But like,
really?
in the book, I don't know, because she's in her towel and he's just like, no.
That's true, I guess.
For me, it's very cringy to watch those type of things, at least the first time around. I'm sure if I watched it again,
you'd be like, oh my god,
yeah,
moments.
they're so cute. Yeah.
I think the only time that like I really felt what you're talking about is the almost kiss in the field scene, because that I was like, I could literally like time that, like this person goes in for 3 seconds and then this person goes in for 3 seconds and then they wait and then they move in and then they don't kiss. Like it felt really long, but apart from that, like I didn't think it was that bad. I did think that sometimes it felt over the top, and I don't know if it was like the dialogue or just the way that if it was like a direction choice or something, but like sometimes I was like, oh, this is like a bit cringy or like a little bit too much, but like it was still enjoyable.
The scene where they finally meet, not when they meet the slip guy, but when they first meet like the group of people where it says get out, you know what I'm talking about, at the mall. Yeah. In the book it's in a grocery store, I think, but at the mall. That one where like it's just the boys sitting in a circle having like a really intense conversation about like politics and what life is like now, and like you don't know the real world and stuff. Did you think that one was cringy? Or was over the top?
I thought like those four boys were a bit extra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I read the book, I literally was like, oh my god, this is so much.
But like, you have to cut them some slack. You're in a dystopian world. If you can't trust the government, that's what you're going to be taught. You're not going to be like, oh, what are the new shoes that are out? Like, I really like this line. You're going to talk about, like,
I know, but it just,
how
like,
are we going to survive?
Realize, like, how old I am. Because I think 14-year-old me would have watched it and been like, oh my god, what a smart guy.
Oh, okay. No? I see what you mean. Yeah, no, I see what you mean. Because, like, I'm trying to think of 14-year-old Shania.
I just feel like if I watched this when I was 13, like, I would have had no complaints.
Yeah, but I think that's also, like, a sign of us not being able to connect with 14-year-olds.
That's so sad.
I know. Like, when I remember it as younger, and it's just like, you're too old, you don't understand me. And then, like, now I'm at the age where I'm like, you know, I really am too old, I don't understand you, so.
I guess that's not really a problem with the movie. It's just a problem with me.
I was gonna say, like, just fun fact, whenever Liam's eyes, like, glowed blue and then was, like, throwing shit around, very much enjoyed that. That was fun.
Yeah. Oh my god, all the colors, like, the colored pupils were great.
Yeah.
I thought they were so good. My favorite was Chubbs when he turned green.
Yeah. That, and, like, that also was, like, because it's just,
one.
Like, it's cool that you know, like, oh, his brain has been activated when they turn green. Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm just thinking the Sailor Scouts, if their irises changed colors, that'd be really cool too. But they got the nails. So
and you know, the uniform.
I just feel like it'd be a nice touch.
So
a couple other things that I felt like they changed. In general, I felt like a lot of the details were changed, but it was never, I guess the end effect of that scene or that like decision that they made ultimately was the same, so I didn't mind too much. A couple things though that did bother me, or that I thought I liked better in the book. I thought Suzume's backstory and just her as a character was better developed in the book. I think in the movie it's just like not as clear, but then I asked Shaniha if she understood like why Zu doesn't talk, and she's like yeah, so maybe it's just me. I just felt like the book kind of explains it a little bit more. And then I also felt like the whole EDO and that whole mystery, I felt like in the book, probably because like, they had more time, like it was drawn out and you actually got to see them think through the steps, and each time they make a like mistake and then they reconsider and then they're back to square one. I thought that was better done in the book. I also thought it was cool how in the book they don't actually ever figure out what EDO means. It's just that Ruby, because of her powers, accidentally sees the answer when she makes contact with another person. So in a weird way she figures it out, but then she's still trying to hide how she figured it out, and like later it comes up that she's not actually smart, but she just had used her powers and they didn't know about her powers. So it was just like more complex. The movie, I still think like ultimately they had to do it so that you could move on and finally go to that lake place with the other orange, but I just felt like it was one of those movie moments where like they look at each other and a single clue happens and it's like aha, and then they like figured out the problem.
That's true. Like,
it was very quick to be solved. So I understand why they did it, but I think it was better done in the book.
I just wanted to go back to your thing about Zu.
Okay, they call her Zu, but her name's Suzume.
Okay, so like just about her, the only reason that to me I kind of figured she was traumatized is because she was so young. If she was like a 16-year-old who couldn't talk, then I would have thought maybe like, oh, is she mute? The other thing I wanted to mention was the other orange. Do you know his name? The president's son?
Clancy.
Clancy?
I'm pretty sure. Clancy, something like that. I'm pretty sure it's Clancy.
So anyways, this guy, literally as soon as he like turned, like his face showed up on the screen, I was like 150% sure he was the bad guy. And I was just waiting for Ruby. right?
Yeah.
I was just waiting for her to shake his hand, like, right in the beginning so that she could, like, touch him and be like, oh, douche. Like, figure it out right away. But then she never did, and I was kind of like...
Oh, so they don't tell you, I guess, in the movie, but in the book, he has,
like, a
like, guards up anyways.
Oh,
so even if she touched him, if he doesn't let her in, like, her powers initially aren't good enough for her to be able to do that.
I mean, it makes sense because they did touch quite often, like, when they were doing the training and stuff, and nothing happened. But still, I guess,
he
like...
so clearly looks like a villain. And it's one of those, I guess it's like a movie thing where, like, to us he looks like a villain, but they don't see it. But I was literally like, really? He looks so not trustworthy.
Yeah,
so.
There's that. And just, like, literally that rapey scene, like...
I was actually... So that's in the book. Like, that wasn't just them trying to make it dramatic. And I was actually kind of hoping that they'd take it out. Because even in the book, I was like, I don't really see... Like, I think the only point to that is to show you that he's kind of a sociopath. Like, I don't know how much of a purpose it served in the book, from what I remember. Other than, like, dramatic effect and, like, that's how she finds out that he is crazy. And I was actually kind of hoping that they take it out in the movie.
Yeah, I saw that. I just remember seeing that being like, wow. Like, I mean, I knew he was a douche, but, like, I don't know. I just, like, I didn't expect that. But then once it happened, I was like, I don't know why I didn't expect this from you. I should have.
It might have just been, though, like, at that time it was a trope that you had in YA books. Because I think after, like, Twilight had that scene, like, I'm sure other... books before Twilight have had it. But, like, it was in Vampire Academy, like, it's in all of them.
Oh, okay.
It was in this. I'm trying to think what else.
Wow, so many examples.
No, it, like, comes up a lot. It's just a thing that they do. Also, I personally really liked all the montage scenes. Like I said, in my opinion, the pacing of this movie was slow. And so every time they did a montage of, like, more fun stuff, I liked it. It was a nice, like, breath of fresh air. So this scene where they go to the mall and then she lights up all the lights and then they're dancing around and actually having fun. I liked that. I liked there was another montage where I think they first come into the camp. That one was also great. I really wish this movie took itself a little bit less seriously. I don't know. I just feel like I get that something really bad is happening, but I wish the movie had different tones. I wish it was, like, a little bit more fun for me to watch, is all I'm saying. I don't know how they would go about it. A little bit of comic relief. Like, Chubbs was the only one, and God bless his soul, but I felt like they could have done a little bit more.
So, I mean, I understand, but, like, I remember thinking the montage scene in the mall...
Was ridiculous?
I mean... So, like, the thing is, like, I understand they're kids, and at the end of the day, they're still kids. But then I was kind of like, how are you not concerned that people are coming after you?
Our battery died, so I don't remember what we were saying. So we're just gonna...
end it here?
Basically, I really liked the movie. I think it was a pretty good adaptation. I haven't been following it, but I really hope that it's renewed for a sequel if it isn't already. Because I think that... I haven't read the second and third book yet, but I think just given how it ends at the end of the first film, that it would probably get more and more interesting as we go on, and I'm literally, like, dying to know how the whole Liam with no memories thing is gonna play out, and if Ruby will, like, develop powers to be able to reverse that, or if they're just gonna live with that, or if, like you were saying, they meet and fall in love again. I think he's gonna be one of those things where, like, he doesn't know why he's attracted to her, or doesn't know, like, why his body responds to her, because he's still technically in love. It's just, like, mentally doesn't have the image. Like, I don't think she's reversed that he's fallen in love with her. Do you know what I mean? I think she's literally just taken herself out of the memories.
Also, don't you think it's a little bit funny? Like, they don't show this, but, like, can you imagine? She's just removed out of the memory, so he's gonna just have a memory of him dancing by himself at the dance.
I don't know how that works.
And, like, there's a memory of him just...
socks?
Yeah, or, like, yeah, just offering socks to an empty bathroom, or, like, just standing in a field going for a kiss and there's nothing there. Like, I don't know, like, I think that's kind of funny when you think about it. You know, it could just be that, like, it's not just her removed from the memory, but that entire memory is taken out, and then that way they avoid this weirdness. But for the film, they had to actually show her disappearing, so.
Okay, thanks for watching. Bye!
Bye, guys!